Well, hello again, and welcome to another episode of Holding History. Tonight I want to show you all of my oldest things. Some things that aren't really collectible, but they're just really old. Some things that are very collectible. And then just some downright ancient stuff. So if you like anything old, vintage, ancient, medieval, got a little bit of something for everybody, hopefully, in this one. So let's get started with a little unconventional item, which you have things that just kind of hang around for a while and you never throw them away, and then all of a sudden, hey, that's an antique. Well, the first one fits that description aptly. 1 second. And there you have it, folks. My oldest bagged snack food. This is a bag of Funyuns that, unfortunately, there's not a label on here for the actual year, but you'll just have to believe me and trust me when I say February 2nd is the expiration on this, and the year is 2000. These Funyuns were purchased in the year 1999 before the whole Y2K craze took hold of the world, and just for some reason never got opened, and then they were discovered and said, these are probably stale, but just never got thrown away. And then I think maybe when I was a kid one day I just happened to just pop in my mind, hey, what if I just never open these? Let's just see what happens to them. So here we are in 2016. You got a 17-year-old bag of chips right here that never got opened. So we'll just see how much longer they go. Maybe they'll be, maybe when they're 30 years old, I'll dare somebody to eat them, or, there's it's hard to find 30-year-old bag snacks, so I'll just save these for a little bit longer and see what happens. So there you go, an antique bag of Funyuns for your viewing pleasure. Next up, we've got my oldest piece of United States paper money. You've got a $3 bill. Yes, folks, they printed quite a few $3 bills at several are a good number of the obsolete banks during the Wildcat Bank note era. And this particular one comes from the Morris County Bank of Morristown, New Jersey. And we'll just zoom in and see what some of the individual elements are. This one is a pretty highly figured note. Terrible condition on this piece, but you can tell there was a lot of engraving here. It would have had hand signatures, hand-signed stuff on here. There we've got, I assume, Liberty or Columbia, and you got a nice eagle and the $3 bill. And right here, very faintly, you'll notice in the right side there would have been probably a month and a day, and in 1858, from the best that I can make out here, was the actual hand-signed date. And then over here you've got, I guess she's a figure of agriculture, with her scythe up there. But either way, you have a $3 note here, and it's real and it's really old. My oldest piece of United States paper money. So there is the entry for oldest paper money. I'll breeze through this one. Obviously, oldest United States coin, and I've already made a video very early on, but for some of those of you who may have subscribed more lately, here it is for you. A 1796 Liberty Cap large cent. For you variety collectors, this is a Sheldon 81. The obverse is actually pretty nice on this thing. I've been down on it for a while, but after a few nice comments I realized that the obverse is actually pretty detailed, not really very much corrosion there, so it's nice on the obverse. The reverse, however, is just almost not there at all. But you can still make out some states of America, a little bit of the wreath, some fingerprinting on there, but the obverse is pretty nice, and I purchased it a while back for a lot less than what you could get this same coin for now. But anyway, 200 and what are we at? 220 years old on this one. So proud of this oldest United States coin. Alright, folks, now this one I'm actually very excited to show to you tonight. This is one of my prized possessions. As you can tell, very old. This would be my entry for oldest complete book. I don't think this is missing a page, but oldest complete book from cover to cover. This is a Bible, a complete Bible, Old and New Testaments, in the original binding. Worse for the wear, of course, but this would be an Oxford English Bible that was printed in and around 1690. And again, very proud of this one. Not in any kind of great shape at all whatsoever. The front binding is completely just off there. As you can tell, it was at one time sewn. You can see the threads here in the top where someone probably 100 or so or 2 years ago actually tried to sew this back together, and it just didn't hold. But there's a family history. It's not my family. I wish that I had something like this from my family, but you have some family history here from the very early 18th century. and Yorktown, New York is mentioned. Dates in here, very early 1700s. From the best of what I can make out from the writing, this was presented to someone as a 25th birthday gift sometime around 1750. And you can see some of the writing there. Phoebe, Nancy, apparently she had a few husbands that just kept passing, probably some from the common cold or something, because that's just the way it was back then. So there you go. And then we have the Holy Bible containing Old and New Testaments, newly translated from the original tongue. So this would be a King James Version. And the printing, Oxford University, 1695. I'm sorry, I said 1690. This is a 1695 Oxford Bible. And it is complete, no annotations or anything. It is in the Old English, but there it is. No writings, annotations that I could find. I wish that there was something like that. So here you go. 320 some odd year old book here, in terrible shape, but just extremely old. I'm very proud of it. And here, very quickly, I have my oldest printed paper. This would be a loose leaf from one of the pre-King James translations of the Bible. This would be the Geneva Bible or the Tyndale Bible, or one of those versions. This is from 1576, and you can see that the style here is in the Old English. The misspellings are, well, they were correct spellings for their day, but would be considered misspellings by today's standards. So there you have my oldest piece of printed paper, and it is from 1576. Alright, and this handsome gentleman is gracing my oldest European coin. Nothing to crow about here. These are fairly common. I think they found a hoard of these a while back. This is I believe, Austria-Hungary 3-Kreutzer Leopold the Hogmouth, and the date is on the one I'm taking as the reverse of this one, 1670, very clearly marked there. This one appears to be basically uncirculated, if it is an authentic coin. I hope it is. I've seen quite a few of these around for sale and on eBay and things like that, and they do appear to most of them be in good condition, and I believe that is due to the fact that there was a hoard of these found some years ago. But there he is. From what I understand, a lot of inbreeding going on in the family, trying to keep the bloodlines pure, but there was a genetic mutation that permeated through the incest, and it caused them to have a very distinctive lower lip. And this gentleman was referred to as the Hogmouth Leopold. So there you are, 3-Kreutzer, I think I'm saying that right. 1670, oldest European coin. Alright, I hesitate to even show this, but I do have to have an entry for oldest coin, so there it is. A widow's mite Roman issue coin, sometime around the time of Christ, as you see from my fingers. Very tiny in scale. I think these were possibly bronze, or I'm not sure the material composition on this one. You ancient coin aficionados could fill that information in very easily. But here is a tiny little hexagon-shaped widow's mite. A little bit of the detail comes out there. These were very crudely struck, nothing fancy. And there you go. Oldest coin, period. Oldest coin of any kind whatsoever. And last, and quite possibly least, as far as interest, is my oldest object, period, besides, maybe some rocks in the front yard, is this trilobite fossil that would date from sometime in prehistory. I don't know a lot about these. I'm not a dinosaurologist, not a dinosaur expert by any means whatsoever, but just an old chunk of something that used to be an animal from a very, very long time ago. My oldest possession, a trilobite fossil, and there you are, oldest object, period. So, hope you've enjoyed seeing this brief presentation of my oldest things. Very proud of some of them, and I do appreciate you taking the time to watch. Leave comments below if you liked anything that you saw, or if you think I did a terrible job, just tell me that too. I try to have thick skin when it comes to things like this. So thanks for watching again. Appreciate your time, and hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.